Ltd, and today we're making another recipe from the plantain. Now the plantain is a part of the banana family, and some persons just use the plantain like a banana and eat it like this. But today we're not gonna just eat the plantain like this. We're gonna make a plantain casserole. I have another plantain recipe that I'm gonna link somewhere in the iCards above and in the description box below. So let's go over the ingredients. We have 1 hand of plantains. Now we're going to use about 4 of these. We're not going to use the entire hand. The plantains must be fully ripe and firm to the touch. No, they must not be soft. We do not want the plantains to be overripe. They must be ripe and firm. So we're going to use 4 firm ripe plantains. We have 2 cups of cheddar cheese. Now you can use any type of cheese that you have, but we're going to use cheddar cheese today. Grated cheese, 2 cups. And my favorite vegetarian protein crumbles, we're going to use 3/4 pounds of vegetarian protein. This is so delicious. Some onion, we're going to use half of a small onion chopped, half of a small sweet pepper chopped, the green one, and half of a small sweet pepper, the red one. And to elevate our flavor, we always use Bajan seasoning, 2 tablespoons of Bajan seasoning. And our spices, we have 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of curry, and ½ teaspoon of black pepper, and about 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Now, if you don't have ketchup and you have ragu sauce, you may also use that. Oil for frying. Now, our first step is to cut the plantain. So we would have already taken the top off. We're going to remove the bottom as well. And once we have that done, we're going to take the knife. If you have a paring knife, you can use that. And we're going to make a slit right down the side of the plantain. We're not going to go too deep because we don't want to cut the plantain. Then we're going to just remove the skin so the entire plantain stays whole like this. So we're going to remove this skin off of all of the others, and then I'll show you the next step. Now this is the last one, just removed from the last one. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cut the plantains in half, all 4 of them. So we would end up with 8 halves. And once that's done, we're going to go ahead and take each half and we're going to slice it. Not too thin, not too deep. Each plantain should be able to give you 3 equal parts. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut the remainder of the plantains. Each one we're going to cut into 3 lengthways. And then we're going to prepare them to fry. We're going to prepare to fry our plantains. So we're going to add the oil. Allow it to cover the pan, allow it to get a little bit of heat going on there. Make sure you can see it is hot, because you should see a little smokiness coming. Now we're going to add our plantains. And remember, whenever we're frying plantains, we need to pay close attention because they really burn quickly. So I'm going to fry all of them, and then we're going to go ahead to make our filling for our amazing plantain casserole. Our plantains are now done, all completely fried. Now we are going to prepare our filling. So we're going to use the same pan that we used to fry our plantains. You just remain, it has the flavor already in it. We'll just add any additional oil that we need, and we're going to add our onions, our sweet pepper, and saute them. Our onions and sweet pepper have been sauteing. They smell, I always say, amazing. One of my favorite scents in the kitchen is onion and sweet pepper together. Now we're going to add our vegetarian protein. Allow this to mixing with all of these amazing flavors. So incredible. You should smell it from here. It smells so good. Now we're going to add everything else. We're going to add our baking seasoning, which will help to elevate our flavors. And we're going to add all the other spices, or salt, pepper, curry, black pepper, and also Kuisine. And then we're going to add our ketchup. And if you don't have ketchup, but you have ragu sauce, you can go ahead and use that. And we'll allow it to cook together for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then we will prepare to layer our casserole. Our filling is now done. I would have tasted it a few moments ago and adjusted the seasoning, so it's at this stage that you can adjust the seasoning. If you think it wants a bit more black pepper or a teeny bit more salt, you can go ahead and do it at this stage. But this is now done. We're going to get ready to assemble our plantain casserole, and while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 250 degrees. We are halfway there. We now have to assemble, as I said, our plantain casserole. So we have our cheese, we have our filling, we have our plantains. So the first thing we're going to do, we would have greased a small casserole dish. So we're going to put our plantains, we're going to layer our plantains to the very bottom, just a couple of them. And layer them, try to get them nice and close together. Next, we're going to add some of our filling just to cover our plantain. It smells really good. This will take about 20 to 25 minutes to bake, because everything is already cooked. Once we would have added that, then we are going to add our cheese. In some parts of the world, they call it a plantain lasagna. We call it a plantain casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to layer. I'll just repeat all the steps. Go back to adding another layer of plantain, then our filling, then our cheese, then we'll get ready to bake. Our casserole is almost ready for the oven. I'm just adding the last bit of cheese. I would have layered it with the plantain and our amazing filling. And now the final touch is just to lightly cover it with our cheese to give that nice gooiness, and the cheese will also keep everything together. And once we're done, we're going to get ready to put it in the oven. It's done. Now we're going to put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until the top is all nice and golden. Then it'll be time for us to taste this amazing plantain casserole. Our plantain casserole is now done. I would have taken it out of the oven a couple of minutes ago, and it looks bubbly and cheesy and totally delicious. Now it's time to taste. So I'm gonna just take a bit of it here. It's still firm because the plantains were nice and firm, and it smells amazing, really good. Now to taste. Just get all of it in here. Smells so good. Plantain casserole is an excellent side dish. It has a nice fruitiness to it because the plantains were nice and ripe, and whenever a plantain or banana is ripe, it gets sweeter. So there's a sweetness you get from this dish. Excellent side dish. Plantain casserole, now you need to try it. Now if you enjoyed this plantain recipe, you have to try this one here. And once you're done checking this one out, just hit the button below, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a video, and be sure to leave a comment. I absolutely love hearing from you.